England akan through ke final dan mendapat cup.
Waiting for that. Bang, bang.
Bang bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
Salam sejahtera and welcome to Jom United. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya buatan Malaysia. If you are new to our channel and would like to be part of the hashtag Jom United Machas, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom right hand corner and turn on the bell notification. Okay, cekap. So you'll be notified when we release a new video. Okay, so guys, how are y'all feeling? We are at the semi-finals, okay, for the Euro 2020. How are you guys feeling?
Good. It's coming home, bro. It's coming home.
Coming home.
I'm very sad.
I'm
very
sad
sad.
the tournament is going to end.
I'm sad we didn't go through as much.
But one thing, right? You can actually tell your age, right, by the number of games you are watching, you know, these Euros. But at least, right, lucky the last two games, the England game and the Denmark game was really, really entertaining. The Spain game, and oh my God, I tell you, regret. Okay, let's start with semi-final preview, okay? The first game, Italy versus Spain. Okay, let's just do a round robin. Okay, Smurf, what do you think about that game? Who is going to reign supreme?
Italy. Spain got lucky lah, hey. Spain got lucky lah. It's going to be Italy lah. It's going to be Italy.
I think pretty much it's unanimous lah. Jai, macam mana Jai? Adakah Spain, Spanyol, dia pun ada mystery dia tak?
Tak, I still anggap Itali akan ke final sebab I consistent. Memang I akan predict Itali ke final sebab Itali bukan macam game Itali yang dulu defensif, tak ada. Dia attacking, offensive semua dia ada. And then yang paling bagus saya nampak Itali ni dia as a unit dengan dia punya team player-player dia macam satu family tau. I nampak lah sebab I rasa mungkin terap daripada Mancini punya prinsip kan. So Itali memang layak ke final. Bukan Spain. I tak suka Spain. I tak suka langsung.
Okay, Doc, how about you?
Italy tadi.
What do you think?
I think it's going to be a bit closer than we think it is. It's going to be a lot of possession from the Spanish versus the counter-attacking of the Italians. Don't forget Spinazzola is out of the semi-final and he makes a big difference down that left. He even cuts in, he shoots, he provides a lot of width, very good defensively. I think the good thing about Italy is, like Jai said as well, right? It's not a normal Italian team, but yet they're very strong in defense. Right? They're strong in defense, but they're not the type to be after one goal, rely on my defense. They are going for the kill normally, and it will be interesting. I think. I hope Italy come out ahead. They deserve it though.
Okay, Raj, how about you? I think this is quite obvious, Raj.
No, but this. Okay, so, my comments on the quarterfinals aside, I do feel that as an attacking unit, there is more to Spain than what meets the eye. And to be very honest, Lukaku did not actually exploit the age factor of both Chiellini and Bonucci. He was actually tugging on to only one of the centre backs, and he was not running in between the spaces that was provided. So we know that Spain have the power from the width. So if the players right in the centre can actually perform better, like I agree with what Doc said, it could be a much more closer game, and I just pray and hope that it's more exciting than the quarterfinals game played by Spain. But I feel that Italy will have an edge to go for. They are improving from strength to strength. They know that they had a very nervy game against Austria in the round of 16 where people thought Italy were maybe lucky to get out of the group unscathed. But against Belgium, they really proved that they can go for the kill if they wanted to. They could have gone 3-0 up if it was not for a touch for the first goal from one of the players in an offside position. So that is the strength of Italy. And 22 players have played at least a few minutes for Italy, except for their reserve goalkeeper. So all of them have tournament experience. So that's another key factor to consider insofar as Italy. So I'm going with Italy.
Yeah, I think Lukaku has never been that kind of striker to run through to true balls. Anyway, right?
I nak tambah sikit.
The thing about the Italian defense is, yeah, they may be old, but their reading of the game and they played together for so long. They're really fantastic. They know each other's positioning so well. They cover each other very well. And
They celebrate each defensive clearance. Yeah,
and Donnarumma is a monster in goal. Not easy to beat.
he's huge.
Saya nak tambah sikit. Guys, saya nak tambah sikit yang Rash cakap tadi pasal Lukaku. Lukaku tu bila dah bertukar jadi Everton, apa pun tak boleh. Dia dah bertukar, tak boleh buat apa. Serius, Lukaku. Waktu tu kita akan nampak. That's why.
Oh well, we'll always have Paris.
Josh, anything you want to add on for Italy versus Spain? I think.
Yeah, I think I'm in the guys lah. I think Italy will have a convincing. For me, it was going to be convincing lah. Even without Spinazzola, I think the replacement is going to be Emerson. Emerson plays really well as well on the left. So I think it's going to be a very not to say high scoring, but it's going to be like a 2-0 game because once they get the first goal and the second goal is going to come out of counter attack. And I think they're going to defend and and save their players. So at the 60 or 78th minute when they get the 2-0 lead, they'll probably sub their players out and all. And I think they'll be too strong for Spain. So 2-0 for me.
Okay, moving on to the next game. This game I'm actually looking forward to. England versus Denmark. Okay, my question, right, Doc? Do you think that the spirit of Christian Eriksen, right, will carry Denmark through to the finals?
Oh, tough. Very tough question lah. If they weren't playing England now, I would be supporting the Danish. Just for that fact lah. But I think, sorry lah, I have to go for England. I want them to win something. I want them to create a new memory. 66 is a long time ago. And it will be close because the Danes are really, they're playing with a lot of, they're really going for it lah. They really, with the spirit of Christian Eriksen behind them. And defensively, they are quite strong. Simon Kjær, Christensen, Vestergaard, they all players we know very well. And the two wing backs, I think both sides are quite fantastic as well. And their forward line, I think the Damsgaard has impressed me. Very quick on the ball, very skillful. And Kasper Dolberg is in the goal. So it won't be an easy game, but I hope England can pull it out. England looks like having everybody in form. Tough, playing at Wembley. They're playing at home. They should go through. And I hope they play Italy in the finals, and I hope they beat it.
Okay, Smurf, anything you want to add on to that? Because obviously England for you, right?
He's going to come home. He's going to stay home. He's going to stay in Wembley. For me, I believe that against the Danes, yes, like what Doc said, they play with a lot of heart. They play good football. But I think against England has Southgate has something up his sleeve because Jai WhatsApp me earlier and he told me that misteri ni akan berterusan lah. So I think England will definitely win this game. It might be a close game. So hopefully, my only hope is we still keep a clean sheet. So because Pickford looked a bit shaky yesterday lah.
Jai, so apa pendapat you?
Yeah. Okay. Untuk ke final, kita kena bertemu di semi-final. So, I nak harga price Sancho tu berapa? 80 berapa?
90
pounds.
90 million kan. So, I nak Sancho di semi-final dia tunjukkan credibility dia harga 90 juta tu. And then, I tahu mesti ada something mystery pula untuk line up semi-final yang kita tak tahu. Mungkin Grealish masuk, mungkin Grealish Sancho masuk, kita tak tahu. Mungkin ada player lain yang akan masuk. Tetapi
Bellingham.
The first thing first ialah apa yang Southgate bagi tahu, diorang terjemahkan di padang, itu adalah sangat-sangat bagus. Sebab sekarang ni apa yang menyebabkan kekurangan saja ialah pengalaman diorang. Pengalaman player-player England yang sekarang ada. Mungkin Danish lebih berpengalaman, kita tak tahulah kan. Tapi once hanya membezakan pengalaman saja. Tetapi apa-apa pun I akan anggap dan akan rasa yang England akan through ke final dan mendapat cup.
Waiting for that. Bang bang.
Bang bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
Josh, how about you? England, Denmark. Still love for the Danes.
I think Denmark went too far already lah. They have done what they have could. They have lost the first game. They went through Ericsson. They went through as far as they could. They fight as much as they could. I think even a loss in this against England, I think it was a big accomplishment for them to be where they are. I think like Doc was saying, they had to go to with the psychologists and all those kind of things. It's not something that we can overcome just like that, But and I think England will be too powerful for them. And I will think that it's going to be like at least 2 or 3-0 for England, because knowing Southgate, after getting the first goal, he will try to save his players and he will bring the second-hand players, and those second-hand players will try to prove themselves to be on the first 11, and they will try to score more goals. So that's why I say the 2-3 goals, but it's not going to go more than 3 goals. So England for me against Denmark.
Okay, finally, Raj, what about you? England, then
I think to quote Jai, England is a mysterious team. So I foresee maybe Grealish and Foden coming in the lineup in the semi-finals. In place of probably Sancho dengan who was the one who started the Sancho and Mason Mount. Instead of them, probably Grealish and Foden will come in to the lineup. It could be. So it could be an interesting game. But knowing the heart of the Danes, I think they will probably score a goal. So I think it's about 3-1. That would be my score prediction for that game.
I thought you're going to say they score a goal, own goal already. I thought you said they're going to score a goal. It should be the own goal.
I think just to add on to what Smurf says, right? Sometimes Jordan Pickford, I noticed this for Everton as well. When he's not in the game, right, he tends to do this kind of funny things. He feels like he needs to show that he's doing something. So you see, even in one save where he was straight to him, he went punched it out and he fell over. He tends to do this not only for England, he does this for Everton as well. I've seen it a few times. But I think otherwise he's quite a steady keeper. He made a couple of good saves earlier in tournament as well to keep his clean sheets. So anyway, let's see. Game on. It's coming home, boys. It's coming home.
Lion.
Unanimous. I think we all agree that finals will be Italy and against England. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's just roughly review the quarterfinal games. Okay, let's start with Belgium versus Italy. Okay, Josh, what do you think about the game?
Belgium, Italy, I think in one way, right, I have to give credit to Italy. I think they really, being the underdog at the start of the tournament, I think they have really built up as a team. Very, very unfortunate to see left back Spinazzola went out injured. I think that was really critical. I think, when we want to play the best in the tournament, I think you need the best players in playing as well. And that was very unfortunate. Seeing that, I think Belgium had a very good chance of equalizing and even going to the, extra time and penalties. Lukaku had a very, very bad game. I don't know what happened to him. He had some glimmer. I think two very clear cut 6-yard chances, one with the left foot, one with the header, and he missed it. And De Bruyne with one wonder strike and Donnarumma with a save. I think it was a very entertaining game, I would say. But Italy deserve it. I think as a unit they really played, and I really have to give a heads up. I think my man of the match on that day was Barella. Not only that he scored, I think he really, really played a very crucial role in the midfield. So well done to Italy, and I hope he will be fully fit along with the whole Italian squad to face England in the finals.
Okay, hold it first. Doc, I know you're excited. I know it's coming home. It might be coming home. Chilvers. We save it for later. Okay, we move on to the next game, Switzerland versus Spain. Okay, that day, right, I thought I was actually pissed off with the pace of the game and the way they were playing the game. But then actually, I think Raj, among all of us, Raj was the most vocal one.
No, it was really putting me to sleep. Seriously, I think the man of the match in that game was the referee for actually screwing up the game and giving a red card to the Switzerland player, and they ended up playing close to about 40 minutes with 10 men. Spain really, I mean, we have to see the difference that Morata makes in the team, because the moment Gerard Moreno came in instead of Morata, they got from bad to worse. They were already just circling the ball around like they used to, the good old Spain days. where they just pass through the back and then the ball just rolls from left to right and then it goes up again. And that was how the pace of the game was going on. Switzerland, if they had played 11 players, I believe it could have been a different game altogether. Special shout out to Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer did a fantastic job in goal. I think he had like 10, if I'm not mistaken, 10 saves after they went down at 10 men. He had a fantastic game. And in the penalty shootouts, I seriously feel Switzerland caved to the pressure that came with the back-to-back penalty shootout situation. The players all the goalkeeper had to do was dive to his right for the 3 subsequent penalties from the second to the fourth, and the last one he just stood there because it was a rugby conversion instead. So that is how the game went on. It was a very, very poor performance from Spain after scoring 10 goals in the last 2 games. They really struggled to create chances. I'm not sure if this is the way they're going to play in the semi-finals against a very, very powerful Italian side who still have good players off the bench as well. They play very well as a team. It is going to be quite a difficult ride for Spain in the next round if they continue doing it.
Okay, we move on to
Actually, I probably would disagree with you, Raj. For the fact that Jan Sommer to make 10 saves, right? I think that at least, Spain did attack. You're playing against 10 men. And those guys really don't want to lose. They were just putting the men behind the ball. So to create the chances that they did, I thought they did okay. But Jan Sommer just had a fantastic game. It really kept them out with some real blinders. And it was unfortunate that he had to end up on the losing side. I mean, he even made a penalty save as well, right? So really unfortunate. And I think maybe the Swiss, when it came to the penalties, they were just tired out. That focus and concentration when you have to just defend, right? So maybe just mentally they were a bit too tired, and that's why the penalties were not as good. Because if you look at the previous game where they took penalties, they were excellent penalties.
Yes, correct. I agree. But I think together with that, maybe the pressure as well. Maybe it got to their heads. Could be, or maybe tiredness.
The pressure, you could see it. Yes, sir. Okay, so we move on.
Especially the last, I think Vargas, is it? He started crying after missing his penalty because he took it. He couldn't dip the ball into the net and instead went out. So, yeah.
It's a shame. Okay, we move on to the next one. Okay, Czech Republic versus Denmark. Okay, so Doc, what's your take on the game?
As I've said a couple of times already, I think Denmark are really going for it. They are playing with a spirit for Christian Eriksen, especially after what happened in the first game, the unfortunate events that unfolded in that first game. And they really, for them actually to recover from that and actually go this far, it's really fantastic. And I think I saw some commentary on Astro where Mikkel Beck, I think, is very close to some of the Danish players. And he said that a lot of them actually had to get a psychologist and psychiatrist help, just to get over that events. And they've carried that form throughout the tournament. And I think they will be a tough opposition for England in the semi-final. For the game itself, I thought it was a very interesting game. And this is a game of 2 halves, right? The first half totally dominated by Denmark. I think they scored early. Czech settled a bit slow from the corner. Delaney was left open for the header. And the second goal, I think the cross from Mahler was fantastic with the outside of his boot right onto Dolberg's foot, right? But Czech, whatever it is, to concede a goal a couple of minutes before halftime, for them to pick themselves up and come out in the second half, right? With their determination, they scored early. Schick scored early again. Very instinctive finish. I think they did try to put a lot of attacks in place, especially the early part of the second half where Kasper Schmeichel made a couple of good saves. There were a couple of good blocks, and maybe towards the end it just petered out a little bit. It was like end-to-end already. Danish were just counter-attacking. Their chances to actually finish it off. But overall, a very interesting game. I think the Danes slightly a more deserved winner in the end.
Doc, do you think that both the teams were quite tired out towards the end because both teams looked like they were spent? I mean, Czech Republic and
true. But even with that, Danes were still trying to counter. Trying to get that third clincher goal.
I mean, Yusuf Poulsen had a good game off the bench as well.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it was a good game, good watch for the neutral.
Okay, the next game, I think for me the most interesting game Okay, Ukraine versus England. Okay, Jai, wah hari ni smart pakai smart Apa pendapat you tentang game? Tentang Ukraine versus England.
Okay, I fokus pada England punya team lah actually. Sebab bila England dah menang dengan Jerman, it's a giant punya Eropah punya team. So keyakinan tim England dah bertambah-tambah. So that's why sebelum ni I pernah cakap game by game. And then Southgate, kita dah tahu dah, dia memang ada misteri punya tactical. Sebab I dah pernah bagi tahu, game dengan Ukraine, dia turunkan line up yang lain. Dia 2-3 orang dia dah tukar. So the performance daripada Sancho yang kita nampak, daripada Kane, daripada Sterling, so the performance is sangat bagus. Untuk ke arah ke semi-final, game by game, final, senang cakap ini adalah masa untuk diorang pergi ke final sebab World Cup itu hari diorang kalah dekat semi-final. So dekat Euro ni diorang ada chance untuk pergi ke final sebab lawan dia Denmark adalah player-player yang pernah bermain bersama di English Premier League. So kelebihan pada England, and then yang paling bagus yang saya nampak game semalam, dia punya passing, dia punya discipline defense, dia orang punya attacking, semua function. Sebab kita tengok bila dapat first goal awal, dia orang come out tidak terburu-buru. Macam biasa kalau kita tengok macam France baru ni, dia orang dah dapat 3 and then dia still nak attack. Tetapi England punya game semalam, kita boleh nampak bila dapat 1 gol, dia pergi bawah balik, relax balik. Okay, relax dulu, main balik. So ini kemajuan lah, satu kemajuan yang I nampak dalam tim England. Memang tim England setiap tournament dia ada superstar, nama superstar. Tapi this macam Kevin Phillips, you know, Declan Rice, semua player-player yang dia tahu dia punya role, dia tahu dia punya function. Itu yang paling mustahak. So bang. Sambung.
Smurf, sambut, bang.
Smurf.
So for me, I think it's gonna stay home lah, because I mean
Stay
looking at this, it's gonna stay home, because I mean we got to be frank, we got to know that the semi-finals will be played in Wembley. Both the semi-finals will actually be played in Wembley, and the finals will also be hosted in Wembley itself. So that, I mean, I can't say it's going home because it's supposed to be there. It's going to stay home. It's going to be in England lah. So I'm hoping that they would actually go on to win it. I'm basically, for me, my only concern now is if they are able to continue keeping more clean sheets, which they I mean, we have about 5 games so far. Every game is actually a clean sheet. So hopefully they will actually be able to maintain 7 games straight, all clean sheets. And on top of that, I would love to see either Harry Kane or Sterling to actually go on and win the Golden Boots lah, because they are contenders now. I think both of them are left with 3 goals, on 3 goals, and just another 2 more to equal Cristiano Ronaldo and Shrek. So hopefully they go to the finals. There's 2 games, 180 minutes minimum. Hopefully Kane would actually score 2 or 3 goals to be the top scorer, or it might even be Sterling himself. But Shaw was pretty impressive, and hopefully he will also continue in contributing assists. That's basically, and hopefully Maguire scores a bit more headers.
No, I don't mind for this competition if you don't score anymore, but coming into the next season, the new season, I think better start scoring. You see? So actually, which is a good thing that the United players are actually performing for England. So when they carry on going to the new season, I mean, people like Maguire, the start of last season, his confidence level was shot. So going in the new season with this kind of, I mean, if they actually win, right, and they actually perform, I think they will perform well from the start of the season, which is what we need as a United fans. That is what we want.
Looking at United early fixtures, I think it's good. I mean, it's not really difficult fixtures if you ask me personally. I think it's fixtures that really it suits the team. Yep, and the team can actually settle down. So bringing if they win the Euro and bringing this confidence into Manchester United at the start of next season, I think this will be perfect. This will be wonderful, and this will be very great for our team. So, but now it's still Euros, so we leave Manchester United off for a short moment.
So Josh, anything?
Let us take some time to appreciate Harry Maguire, That was
Hey, he
one
had a
header.
good tournament lah. That's it.
Hey,
That was one header.
guys,
He really,
I
really went for it lah.
thought it's Josh, not Danny.
Yeah. I'm sending a message on behalf of Danny because I
So,
just
Josh-
took off my Maguire jersey from Lazada.
Based on your opinion, Josh, if Maguire was still injured and that we knew the replacement was Mings, would Mings actually score a goal?
I think he would have scored also lah. But
So what's
thing
the
is-
difference, Maguire and Mings? You can put
Okay.
Mings there.
So
In England, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Woodward will get the wrong idea. We don't do it. I'm so
Exactly.
happy.
We just what I'm trying to say is Mings is doing the job. We need Maguire to do the job. That's it. In menu, he needs to do the job.
No,
Last
I
season,
just want
he
to
has
add
not
on a
been
little
doing the
bit.
job.
Let me just ask one question before Doc. Just one question.
Yeah.
So, is it coming home or will it be going
Staying
to
home.
Coming
Staying
home,
home.
bro. It's coming home. So actually, I just want to add.
Because there is another team from Rome. Remember that they are
The
good
good
also.
thing here about the England team is, I think, whenever anybody is called on to play. So yesterday, Sancho. I think previously even Phil Foden started, right? And then even like Ming started in place of Maguire. Everybody has come in and performed, right? So the
Correct.
good thing is now your bench players are all performing whenever they are called upon or when they are required. So it features very nicely for England. I think they are also able to adjust their strategy or formation based on what players they need on that particular day, and everybody's coming in and performing, which is great and good to see Harry Kane back in the goals. So I think that goal. Sorry, I forgot Grealish. Grealish, well, the few times he came off the
Grealish
bench,
didn't play
he
yesterday.
really made a difference. So everybody looks in good form, in good nick, and that would be fantastic for England. Again, a word of caution about the Danes, but we'll talk about it later when we go into the preview of the semi-finals.
But I'll add
I
on
nak
to
tambah,
Doc lah.
Yeah.
I nak tambah sikit lah.
Smurf.
Go, Jai, go.
Okay. Jai, jangan.
Okay, apa yang Doc cakap tu betul. Cuma sekarang ni dia kena player-player kena dengar apa yang Southgate cakap arahan daripada Southgate.
Mystery
Tactical.
Southgate.
Mystery dia punya tactical tu. So dia just follow the tactical, maybe dia akan terus maksud dia akan dapat kejayaan lah. Just follow the tactical. Sebab semua I nampak macam Maguire, of course lah, I memang happy gila lah. Sebab 2 game dia memang main bagus, and mungkin last game Ukraine, I tak tahu siapa yang dapat player terbaik perlawanan, I tak tahu. Tapi I rasa dia pun dalam game tu pun dia bagus juga. So memang Harry Maguire memang dalam keadaan yang baik lah, dalam keadaan bagus.
Okay, Smurf, you want to add on, Smurf?
Yeah, on top of what Doc said, actually, the bench players that came in. I mean, look at what Bellingham did yesterday. He came in, he was an instant impact. Rashi came in, he was an instant impact. Hendo came in, he even scored a goal. Unfortunately, he's a Liverpool player, so I'm not going to celebrate on that. But yeah, I mean, from the bench, they can actually come in and replace players, the first 11, and they can actually make instant impact. So England, if you ask me, they have a very good team this Euros, and they should go up to the finals, and Southgate has did well so far for me.
Yeah, just
Again, just don't forget, everybody was making fun of Southgate, Sterling, and the whole England team.
Oh yes, I have a lot.
Right?
I had a lot of friends who actually said
Not
that.
not everybody.
Hey, this one is Holland punya budak. Don't tipu-tipu all lah.
I'm still sad.
I had my doubts lah. Seriously, but the way that he managed the place, especially Rashford, I don't know whether it's really tactical or whatnot, but then you notice he actually protect Rashford. He's not playing him so much, and knowing that he has an injury, only coming in when he's needed, just for a few minutes here and there. So I think that is actually a very good thing as a United fan. And then another thing, just want to shout out to Declan Rice. I was actually watching him play off the ball, the way that he fills up the holes when Harry Maguire. Okay, that's one thing that I don't know about him. He likes to run high up the pitch, and then he will just pass the ball to Luke Shaw, leaving a hole behind. And every time he does that, Declan Rice will be very disciplined. He will fill up
Gertak.
every
He's called
time.
Gertak.
No, he's not going to do anything, right? He's not.
No, the problem is at United, when Harry Maguire goes up with Shaw, Fred doesn't know what on earth to do, and he just stands beside them there. So there's a big gaping hole for everyone to, just counter attack. That's the problem.
So actually,
I think that is why I also highlighted Declan Rice from the beginning. Like, I've been watching him in a few games, and he does this. He's a very intelligent player. He knows how to cover those gaps, and
Yes.
he doesn't look spectacular because he doesn't do like run all over the place.
He does all the dirty work.
Dirty work,
But
not
his
a flat
reading
player.
of the game, his reading of the game is excellent. He hardly loses the ball. He moves the ball very cleverly, and he's also capable of taking a shot, as we saw yesterday.
Yes, correct. His movements off the ball, that is one that really impressed me, because usually we'll be focusing on the ball. So I actually made sure I was looking at how he filled up the spaces and stuff. Fantastic player. Hopefully we can get him. Okay, so what do you guys think? Who is going to make it through the semi-final stage? Please comment below. Okay, like usual, please like, subscribe. Okay, turn on the bell notifications. Yeah, bro, I think we got to work on the timing a bit, but better than
This guy got a problem with himself.
See you in the next video. Okay, take care. Cheers.